Let's talk about the Middle East. American just cannot live without a war. All right. So Doha, Qatar's capital now, is being bombed. There's no other way to describe it. This is attack on
No.
Doha, Qatar. We know who did that, and we know who's behind it. What is stunning to me, I mean, by now, I should not be surprised, but I still was shocked by this because Qatar is a mediator, okay? And they just bombed a mediator.
No.
So this is what Arnold Bertrand was posting on his X, and quite a few people cited that. He said, "This is becoming a Trump signature move. The same modus operandi he used with Iran, now deployed against Hamas, pretending he wanted to engage in diplomacy as a trap to facilitate bombing them, which reinforces the precedent. Engaging in diplomacy with the U.S. is now worse than useless. It is fatal." What is your take?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I have to say, I was horrified when I heard about this. The first thing to say is an attack on another country and the capital of another country is an act of war. This
Mhm.
was absolutely a brazen act of war, a brazen act of aggression, by the way. I mean, so that is one red line that is crossed. The second is that to attack people who are engaged in diplomacy
Mhm.
violates a taboo
Yeah.
that has been supported in every civilization that I can think of
Yeah. Mhm.
throughout human history. I mean, this is such a casting away of restraints. I mean, this is, well, I'm going to say it's such a descent into barbarism.
Mhm.
And I just cannot even get my mind right around it. The duplicity behind this as well. Um, as exactly was that Larry Johnson who you were quoting? Somebody who was quoting, drawing people, tricking people into letting their guard down, coming together into meetings, um, thinking that they're engaging in a peacemaking process in order to kill them. I mean, this is an abomination. I mean, I don't have words strong enough to describe my feelings about this. It's also, by the way, and you have to know a bit about Arab culture here, a massive humiliation for the Emir of Qatar, who is a loyal friend and ally of the United States and of the West. But I mean, he's not only is his own capital attacked, but people who are his guests are attacked. And in
Mhm.
the Arab world, this is taken extremely seriously. And well, you could say you could say so much more. There's murder as well. Throw in murder.
Yeah.
6 people killed, or
Mhm.
7 people killed, according to some reports. One, a member of the Qatari security forces,
Mhm.
a completely innocent person. In other words, he's not even a member of Hamas. He too is killed. I
Mhm.
mean, straightforward murder of someone as well. I mean, again, what sort of people have we become? And Trump publishes a couple of days ago, I think it was on the 7th of September, a very threatening uh, post on Truth Social saying, we've offered Hamas wonderful conditions for a ceasefire and they must accept them. And if they don't, I will be very, very angry and all kinds of consequences will follow. And then this attack is carried out a few days later. And it fails because none of the people they tried to
Mhm.
kill were actually
Mhm.
killed. Innocent people were killed, but
Yeah.
not the actual people they were
Mhm.
attempting to kill were killed. So, of course, what does he come up with? He comes up with a mumbled, mealy mouthed attempt to distance himself from it. Oh, it's nothing to do with me. It's all the fault of Netanyahu. I wasn't told. I wasn't informed. We did try and inform Qatar in advance. Of course, Qatar says that's absolute
No.
lies.
Mhm.
I mean, it's 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 disgraceful. It's not just disgrace. It's so sordid and undignified as well. I mean, you're going to behave like a monster, then at least be a straightforward, unabashed monster. I mean, pretending that you're not involved, that this is something that is done without you knowing. I mean, and then, giving Netanyahu a little tap on the wrist and telling him it's not going to happen again. I mean, again, this is the president of the United States leading his country, and that's how he responds. I mean, I just, again, I have no words to uh, use where I can express my feelings about this clearly enough. This is one of the most disgraceful things I have ever seen. And I have to say this, we have declined morally as well as politically and legally in the West, that we do these things now, and nobody's shocked, nobody cares, nobody says anything. After what's going on in Gaza, perhaps we shouldn't be surprised.
Well, Hamas actually agreed to the proposal that Trump put
No,
forward. Hamas said
yeah,
yes, and they're
yes,
supposed to finalize, I guess.
yeah,
That's the idea. I
yeah.
think they were trapped. They put out the conditions that they thought Hamas would not accept. For example, immediately release all the hostages, including the bodies and the dead ones, etc. They thought that Hamas would not agree to it. Hamas agreed to it. Hamas said yes, and they still bombed them. They
Well,
still,
absolutely.
yeah, tried to assassinate the Hamas in
Correct.
another
I mean,
country. In another
well,
country.
exactly, but because it was never about that at
Yeah.
all. It was never about trying to agree a ceasefire. It was about murdering the leaders of Hamas. I mean, that is what it was ultimately all about.
Now, there's even somebody talking about Turkey will be the next that Israel, because we know that U.S. gives them great line to do this. So,
Yeah.
is Israel trying to start World War III and get U.S. get fully coming in? And is that they still trying to do that, right? They have been trying that for a while.
Well, they have. I mean, they're going to war with everybody around them. I mean, they've already attacked Iran. They're occupying much of Syria now. They are launching constant attacks in Lebanon. We know what they're doing on the Palestinian territories. I mean, they are out of control. I mean, again, I could use much stronger language.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the idea that they would take on Turkey is madness. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you know anything at all about Turkey, it is complete madness. It is a big country. It has a martial tradition. I'm not going to discuss the quality of its army, about which I know very little indeed. But I mean, the idea of taking on Turkey as well as Iran, as well as all of the Arab states, attacking Qatar in the way that they have just done. I mean, they are completely out of control. People look for a strategy behind this. And I'm sure that they have all kinds of strategies in Israel, in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. They have all kinds of plans and ideas, but they're all rationalizations for a rampage of violence in which they're engaging right across the Middle East because they feel they have the Americans behind them and because they're becoming increasingly angry that they can't achieve in Gaza and elsewhere that which they set out to do.
But from the US perspective, I still feel like the whole idea in Qatar, there are 10,000 US troops. I didn't even know that many US.
Yeah.
The idea, the US like to say, okay, they invited us to protect them. Well, this time, as far as I know, there's nothing has been done to try to protect Qatar, right? There is no defense system being activated or
No,
whatsoever.
no.
So what's the justification to have American troops there to protect who?
Well, precisely none at all. I would have said. I mean, I
If
mean,
it's Israel, then it's okay. You can just bomb anybody. You can go attack
absolutely,
anyone, right? So
absolutely.
U.S. troop or not, well,
Well, the Israelis have got themselves to the state where they're basically saying that they have a right to kill anybody anywhere. I mean, even up to and including, dare I say it, the Emir of Qatar himself.
mhm,
I'm not saying that that's what they're intending to
yeah,
do,
yeah.
but their rhetoric is such that if they did decide to do it, nothing would hold them back anymore.
Mhm,
By the way, killing the leaders of other countries also once upon a time
yeah.
used to be a taboo. During the Second World War, we're talking about a world of war in which we had Hitler on one side, Stalin on the other, hardly men who would hold back from doing the most extraordinary and terrible things. But there was the taboo then that leaders didn't kill each other. And look, they all stuck by it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
There's
now
difference.
even
There's no
Even
taboo.
that,
No.
there's no taboo. There's no restraints. We throw all restraints away. This is what the rules-based international order apparently is all about. We do whatever we like, wherever we want. We disregard all laws, traditions, societal, civilizational norms, humanitarian norms. We throw them away, provided we choose to do it because we have the power. We do it.
Yeah, Qatar just recently, right, beginning of this
Mhm.
year, promised tons of money to invest in the U.S. and gave Trump a Boeing plane, right? It's so
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't stop the U.S. to do something like
yeah,
that. It's
exactly.
so disgusting.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, this is, but now I think at this point we shouldn't be surprising with anything, including like I think it's a mad idea to bomb Turkey, but at this point I don't want to rule out anything, right?
No, no, no. You
Everything can
cannot.
happen.
There is, as I said, these people are capable of anything now. And when I say these people, I don't just mean the Israelis, by the way. I mean, last year we had the United States participating in military attacks on the territory of Russia.
Yeah.
Nuclear power. I mean, they were launching missiles into Russia. Of course, it was the Ukrainians who were doing it, but we all know that they couldn't have done that without American assistance. And they continued to conduct drone attacks inside Russia. Again, something which throughout the Cold War was never done. I mean, we never did that. The Russians didn't conduct attacks in the United States. The United States didn't conduct attacks on Russia during the Korean War. The Americans had enough self-control then not to conduct attacks, military attacks deep inside China, and they didn't do that against China during the Vietnam War either. But today, who can be sure that if we got into similar situations, things like that would not be done?